Hello, my name is Michael Lambert, and today in this second video I want to talk a little bit about the Labour Party's five-point plan for us becoming a sort of world-class economic superpower, I think. Or anyway, certainly we're all going to become a lot richer. You may remember a few weeks ago the Tories came out with something similar. They had a five-point plan as to how they're going to transform the economy. I think in their case, they're going to make us into a world-class technology superpower. I didn't say exactly how they're going to do that, but that's what they're going to do. And it was a load of drivel. And not to be outdone, the Labour Party have come up with their own, which is this document here. It's called Five Missions for a Better Britain, mission-driven government to end sticking plaster politics. It's all about missions. This is all about missions. It's completely new, fantastic political theory. That everything's going to be mission-led. Before I start, though, I would just like to say this: that I do like to. I like to be impartial in these videos. I like to be free to be as rude about everybody. I've voted in every election since I was 18 years old. I voted for the Tories, I voted for the Labour Party, and I voted for the Liberal Democrats. I like to decide the issues at the time of the election, and I like to keep them as open a mind as possible, and I like to be as free as possible to criticise whoever I don't approve of. Where I live, I'm like one of millions, tens of millions of people throughout the country. I live in a safe seat and under first past the post. Who I vote for doesn't really matter, but nonetheless, I always vote. So last week, or week 4, Kier Starmer, very much buoyed on by his 20% lead in the polls, came out with this new five-point plan, this mission-driven philosophy to overcome sticking plaster politics. And I have the document here, and I've gone through it. He also wrote a long essay for the I think New Statesman, which I've also gone through. And I think I've got the gist of what it's all about, and I think I'd just like to share with you what it's all about. To sum up, it's to end short-term sticking plaster politics. Sticky plasters, that's one of the current buzz expressions. And it is that Britain needs a mission-driven government. This is a profound statement of intent. It really is profound. I mean, we've never before had mission-led government. I'm not sure what mission-led, how that's any different from aims-led, target-led, objective-led, but it's completely different. And he explains here, missions can only be achieved with sustained focus. They require departments working together rather than in silos. So departments work together rather than in silos. Yes, got that. The missions themselves organise government activity and galvanise others to work in partnership with government in pursuit of these shared goals. You keeping with this? To achieve this, the missions need to be real missions. Now, this is something I hadn't really realised. They're not artificial missions, they're real missions. So, as he says, to achieve whatever it is they're going to achieve, the missions need to be real missions, rather than vague aspirations or simple slogans. He didn't like slogans, he doesn't like words like mission-led or sticking plaster politics. No, he doesn't like that. And as I say, he says, rather than vague aspirations or simple slogans. Each one a North Star to guide us. See, astrology is involved now. To keep our focus and to stop the demands of the day-to-day from taking over. So what are these five plans? Well, I'm going to read them out to you, and I'm going to start with number 2. Number 1 I'm going to return to afterwards. So let me tell you what number 2 is. Number 2 is to make Britain a clean energy superpower. Now, no one could argue with that. Everybody wants to be a clean superpower. The whole world wants to be a clean superpower at the moment. The whole world is trying to become a clean superpower, so we can just keep up with everybody else. But no, we're going to be a superpower, not a power. In fact, you might be interested to know that we are already pretty big in offshore wind generation. We have, I think, more wind farms than any other country, I believe. We have, in fact, 42 wind farms around the UK. You know, thousands of those great big white windmills in the sea, generating huge amounts of power. And what I discovered the other day, which is quite interesting about all these wind farms and our superpower status as a result of having all these farms, is that there are 42 of them, and of those 42, 42 are foreign owned. None of them's ours. They're all foreign owned. They're all generating electricity which we're paying to foreign governments or foreign companies. I mean, it's just insanity, isn't it? I've talked before about how electricity, gas, water around the railways are all majority owned by foreigners now. I mean, just sell everything to foreigners. You know, I thought the other day it's a bit like living in a house. And you're not earning enough money because you're not really working very hard, and you don't get enough money, so you think, well, I get a bit of money, so I'll sell the roof of the house and I'll rent it back. And then a bit later on, I haven't got any money, I can do with the holidays. Oh, I'll sell the plumbing. I'll sell the plumbing and I'll rent it back. And then a bit later you sell the upstairs, and then you sell the kitchen, and then you sell the back garden, and then you sell the front garden. In the end, you've sold everything, and you're paying other people to live in your own house. I mean, it's just absolutely mad. Just listen to this. 42 wind farms around this country. 14 are owned by the Danish government. That's a third of them. 10 are owned by a huge German company called RWE. 4 of them belong to Sweden. 3 of them belong to Norway. 2 belong to EDF, the French government. I mean, how crackers is that? So forevermore, all these foreigners, these foreign governments, foreign companies are going to be profiting from our extremely high electricity and gas prices. Just utterly bonkers. Now, that's not a criticism of the Labour Party. I mean, they just want to make us a superpower. It's just a catchphrase, a superpower. But we've already sold out our power generation forever, I would have thought, to foreigners. Number 3 is build an NHS for the future. Now, this is pretty simple. You spend lots and lots and lots and lots of money. Now, we're not going to get back all those thousands of doctors and nurses who used to come from the EU. No, fortunately, we managed to get rid of all them. They won't be coming back here. So we've got to go around the world pinching them from places like Nigeria and India and all the rest of it, where they've spent a lot of money training them, where they need them themselves, but we can just poach them because we can pay them more money. And then we've got to buy lots and lots of equipment because medicine's always getting more and more expensive equipment, more expensive medicine. So that's a question of money. That solves that. That's that problem solved. The next one is making our streets safe. Well, that's all to do with policing, isn't it? So that needs lots more money. More policemen, more money, more efficiency, more computers, more rest. More money. And then he wants to break down the barriers to opportunity at every stage. He wants to have better childcare, better schools, better training, everything better throughout life. And that just can easily be solved. Money. Just lots and lots of money. He doesn't mention tax cuts, but I expect he'd like to do that as well, which is more money. And I expect he doesn't also mention anything about everybody having a higher pay, which is more money still. But he's got a way of solving all this. This is the plan. You see, this is how it's got to be done. What he's going to do, I think they're going to do this in the first term. I'm not sure. I did see someone, I think it was Rachel Reeves, was asked, but I think it's going to happen in the first term. But it may take a couple of terms. Not that he's got any chance of getting a second term. What he's going to do, this is it. He's going to secure the highest sustained growth in the G7. See, it's just so easy. I don't know why anyone's never thought of this before. All you have to do is make yourself the most successful economy in the G7. It's easy. Better than America, better than Germany, better than Japan, better than France, better than Italy. Easy. Just all you got to do. He hasn't actually yet told us how he's going to do that. Like the Tories going to make us a world-class technology superpower. They're keeping that secret as well. But I expect he'll tell us later on how he's going to do that. But that I mean, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Higher sustained growth, that's on and on and on. in the G7. Right now, we're a complete and utter basket case. Right now, I think it is the IMF of forecasts that we're going to be even behind Russia. Right now, this year, we're going to be the 19th slowest growing in the G20. And I think next year, we're going to drop down to 20th. Talks about the building blocks. Each mission, well, these missions, going back to the missions now, is going to be constructed in a way that gives them the best chance of success. I mean, who'd have thought of that? You're going to construct all these missions, whatever they are, and you construct them with the best chance of getting success. It's all so clever. And they're going to build project teams around each building block towards the missions. And there's going to be a route map. Then he says, get this one. Government delivery too often focuses on top-down, target-led approach to accountability. This command and control management technique is good at raising poor performance to a minimum standard. How can you raise something to the minimum? And that's it. And so it goes on and on. I'm not going to detain you with any more. This just utter junior estate agents drivel. I mean, it's just utter rubbish, and it's an insult to our intelligence. Just such rubbish. And that's how he expects to get elected. I don't know whether people in the red wall seats suck up all this garbage. I don't know. Perhaps they do. But everything he wants to do, same with the Tories. Whether it's the health service, whether it's education, whether it's transport, whether it's infrastructure, whatever it is, requires money. And I'm going to say this, as I've said it before, and I'll get shot down for it because I know all sorts of economists will be in the comments and they'll be saying, I don't understand that this is not the way money is created these days. The way money is created is the Bank of England says to the banks, you can create a load of money, lend it out to people, and that'll make everything fine. And what the banks do, they lend to people who've got assets, who want to buy assets, and so the property prices go up, and you end up with an even greater wealth gap than we've got already. It's perfectly simple. The only way you create the money that is needed to pay for all these things is by generating or increasing economic activity which can be taxed. You need to do everything. It should be the absolute priority of any government to make it as easy as possible to start a business, as easy as possible to run a business. Because that's where the money's going to come from. Because businesses, they rent premises and pay local taxes. They employ people, they pay PAYE and NHI. They pay corporation tax if they make a profit. And most of all, they pay VAT. They drive vehicles that pay excise duty. And so every time you create a business or a business grows, it means more money coming into the government to pay for all this stuff that they're all going to pay for without having a clue as to how they're going to pay for it. The only way to succeed, the only way to recover, is by generating or expanding economic activity. There is no other way. And I'm sorry to go back to mention it again, but when you take Brexit, which severely damages business activity, which is a huge hit to our economy, which is a huge deterrent to new investment. As I said in the previous video, Sunak is jumping up and down and getting all excited and practically wetting himself on how exciting it is that Northern Ireland, 3% of the population, are no longer outside or going to be able to remain in the single market. And they can get all the benefits. They can trade anywhere with a huge market on our doorstep. And where inward investment is almost certainly going to be attracted. But not us. They're the 90%, 97% of us. We no. We don't want anything to do with the common market because they're those terrible people that used to come over here and take all our jobs. The people that used to boss us around, all those civil servants in Brussels, the faceless bureaucrats used to boss us around, making up all these laws we had to obey without having any say. And it is just. I mean, you can tell I'm pretty exasperated. I mean, it just is exasperating. I mean, it's not just the fact that Brexit and everything about it is just so insane, so stupid, but then to be patronised with this garbage from both the Conservatives and from Labour, Kier writing all this stuff. And then, as I said, last week he was on the television, he's saying, again and again and again, he's saying, no, there is, under his leadership, we will never apply to rejoin the customs union or single market or the EU. And people will say, oh, well, that's because he knows we won't ever get in and all the rest of it. He won't even try. And as I said in my previous video, it's wide open now for Sunak to start getting closer to the EU, which is what he's going to do, because he knows that's the only way to electoral success, is by getting closer, cozying up to the EU, which he's done. He's wrong-footed, completely wrong-footed Starmer by this deal he's done with the EU over Northern Ireland. And I would finish by asking both Starmer and Sunak, for that matter, a simple question. If it's so right that we should remain out, we should not even consider trying to find a way of returning to the customs union single market, do they believe that Northern Ireland are better off inside the single market or not? Clearly Sunak does, because he's jumping up and down about it. Does Starmer? Does he think that it would be better if we could pull EU out of the single market? As I said before, I mean, I really wished Starmer well when he became leader of the Labour Party. I thought he looked like a sensible guy, but I don't think he's got a clue. And I think his present policy is absolutely suicidal. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And he's going to lose so many votes, because there are people now who are going to see that Sunak is moving a bit towards, or a bit friendly, a bit closer to the EU, and they're going to go flood back to the Tory party. People who would not have voted Tory before, people who might well have voted Labour because they saw that as a more reasonable party. But now the door is shut to even any consideration of returning to the single market or the customs union. Are going to desert Labour. Anyway, that's what I think about it. If you've watched this far, thank you very much, and until next time, bye for now.